Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of the House, none of us is happy to be here considering this resolution. I know I am not. At the same time, my colleagues, what is at issue here is of importance to this House and to our country. And that issue is whether we are able to proceed with a degree of civility and decorum that our rules and our democracy contemplate and require. The House Code of Conduct requires that each member, every one of us, each and every one of us, conduct himself, and I'm quoting from the rule, at all times in a manner which shall reflect credibly on the House of Representatives. There seems to be little or no disagreement that Mr. Wilson did not so conduct himself on the evening of September 9th. Senator John McCain was quoted as saying that Mr. Wilson's behavior, and I quote, totally disrespectful. Close quote. He went on to say, quote, there is no place for it in that setting or any other, and he should apologize for it immediately. Mr. Wilson did, in fact, apologize to the President through Mr. Emanuel, the President's Chief of Staff. However, it was the House itself whose rules were offended. And as Mr. Inglis, Mr. Wilson's colleague, a Republican colleague from South Carolina, observed, and again I quote, he should apologize to the House, for the rule violation. Mr. Inglis went on to add, that would end the matter. I have made a similar representation to the Republican leader, and I believe that would have ended the matter. I know that is what the Republican leaders of the House thought would be appropriate, and what the Republican leader talked to Mr. Wilson about doing. He said so to the press. Indeed, last Thursday, based upon what a Republican leader told me, not Mr. Boehner, that morning, it was what I expected Mr. Wilson to do. As a result, I held open the last vote last week, or the time between the last vote and the very last vote, to give Mr. Wilson an opportunity to express an apology to the House. As all of us know, many members have done that in the past, reflecting upon conduct they thought was not appropriate. And as a result, they came to this floor. That's happened on both sides of the aisle, where members have done things that they thought brought discredit to the House, and they came to this floor, to that rostrum and to this, and to say, I apologize. Mr. Inglis is correct. That would have ended the matter. However, for whatever reason, Mr. Wilson has decided not to take any further action. In light of that, this resolution simply states the House's disapproval of Mr. Wilson's words and actions. As Republican Whip Cantor is quoted as saying, obviously, the President of the United States is always welcome on Capitol Hill, and he deserves respect and decorum. Surely all of us believe that's correct. Surely all of us, hopefully all of us, believe that when we invite a president of either party to come to this House and address a joint session of Congress, that he ought to expect, and we ought to expect, that we will accord to him the decorum and courtesy of which Mr. Cantor spoke. And the Republican leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell, added, I think we ought to treat the President with respect, and anything other than that is not appropriate. That's what this resolution is about. It's a resolution of disapproval. This resolution is not about the substance of an issue, but about the conduct we expect of one another in the course of doing our business. Senator John Cornyn, the chairman of the Republican Senatorial Campaign Committee, stated this, quote, "There's a time and a place for everything, and that was not the time or the place for that kind of comment." In the absence of Mr. Wilson's expressing his regret for acting in a manner that almost all agree, and every Republican that I've talked to, as well as every Democrat that I've talked to, was inappropriate, contrary to the spirit of the rules of the House and the common courtesy that we should extend to all, and particularly to the President of the United States of America, our President. I expected to extend that same courtesy to every president with whom I've served, be they Republican or Democrat. We consider this resolution as a result of Mr. Wilson's failure to follow the advice of his leadership and a number of his Republican and Democratic colleagues who have told me that they've talked to him. Now, I want to say personally that I know Mr. Wilson. We've had a good relationship. I expect to continue to have a good relationship. I found him a man of measured conduct. I was surprised. I think he was probably surprised as well. A simple apology to this House would have ended the matter. But this House ought not to stand silent in the face of conduct almost universally, and by Mr. Wilson himself, that was felt to be inappropriate. It is an expression of the People's House that presidents, nor any of us, ought to expect to be subjected to such conduct in the course of our business in this, the People's House. The resolution says simply what hopefully all of us feel, that we disapprove of the conduct cited and let others know that such conduct is neither welcome nor approved by the House of Representatives. At this time, Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that Mr. Clyburn of South Carolina be recognized to manage the balance of time on our side.
Without objection, so ordered.